Hello again. I remember when I was 19 or 20 years old, I got interested in meditation. And I signed up with a group who got together for a meditation session that lasted 2 hours. And were divided in two 1 hour guided positive visualization sessions. Oh boy! Do I remember how difficult I had found these sessions? My whole body ached, my back hurt, I felt a tension in my neck, my thoughts wandered. I get mad at myself. I couldn't understand why I didn't manage to stay focused on what was being said by the person guiding the session. And over the years, through trial and error, I finally found a meditation technique that suited me. In the next three videos, I've decided to offer you a series of meditation videos that last between 10 to 15 minutes and that you can listen whenever you feel like it to experiment concretely meditation exercises. However, to start things off, I'd like to explore with you what meditation is. There are many ways to meditate. We often think of yogis sitting motionless for hours on end, their end position in a strange way. There are many other ways. You can choose to meditate for 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5, 15 minutes, motionless, or while you walk, dance, cook. If well positioned in our day, this meditation session will allow us to realign ourselves, to become more attentive to who and how you are. That's what meditation is all about, really. Paying attention to yourself as a little muscle that you're training. That's what we call, in terms that have been popularized by Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness meditation. Instead of turning your mind's eye or your spotlights towards the outside world, projecting yourself in the future or in the past as we usually do, you turn it inwards and take a look at what's going on inside of you right now. Your physical body, your emotions, your thoughts. You do so without asking questions and trying not to be judgmental. We don't say, oh, I'm feeling tension here. It's probably because I tried to lift something too heavy early. Or we don't say, geez, I must be stressed out. How can I feel this lump in my throat? But what am I stressed about? I really don't get it. What can I do to get rid of that feeling? Not, and there it goes, your mind off on a spin. Mindfulness meditation is simply meant to allow you to observe what's going on in yourself. It's like looking at a Polaroid picture or a video. You are simply an observer. We know that meditation has several beneficial effects on people. The first is that it increases the person's capacity to pay attention, to be in the moment. It also improves our motivation, whether personal or professional. Turning our mind's eyes inward sometime during the day allows us to see what's really important, what we need to focus on for the rest of the day. Meditating calms the agitated mind, the whirlwind of thoughts, emotion, and stress that goes around and around in our minds. And it allows us to center ourselves, to be more attuned to ourselves and to our surroundings. Another benefit, and this one has been validated by science as well, is the fact that meditation amplifies the effect of positive thoughts, such as joy and gratitude. On the other hand, it allows us to keep a comfortable distance towards more negative thoughts and emotion to better put things into perspective. This combination effect is particularly interesting in mental health problems as it allows people to look for inner balance and to improve their capacity to deal with stress, anxiety, and depression. In such cases, however, it's better to avoid long meditation sessions that can stir up too many emotions. Short, a few minutes at most, focus sessions are usually more useful here. As if you were training an attention muscle. Instead of going to the gym, you're going inside of you to train. We also have to find what works best for us. I would say there are 6 meditation techniques that I'd like to present to you. A smorgasbord to choose from and to combine according to your needs and what makes you feel good. The first technique is a combination of 2 sensory-oriented mindfulness techniques. The 5 senses exercise and then the body scan. To do the first one, you concentrate on one sense at a time. What do I see? What do I hear? Bird song, conversation. What do I taste as I'm eating something? What texture and flavors do I detect? Paying attention to what we are eating is something we often don't do as we're always in a hurry. We wolf down our food to get back to what we were doing as quickly as possible, or we're busy planning the rest of our day, and therefore don't pay any attention to what our taste buds are picking up. Paying attention to what you eat is a great way to get yourself back into the present moment. Now we can turn our spotlights on what we are feeling, or how does the sun feel on my skin, and how about the wind or the clothing I'm wearing. I remember doing this meditation in a little village in Italy with a group of students that I was accompanying. My students and I had closed our eyes and taken the time, just a few minutes, to do this simple exercise and make different memories of our trip. It was honestly really fun. The other sensory-oriented technique, called the body scan exercise, is where you alternatively scan various parts of your body, usually starting with the head, face, neck, etc., and moving down. Briefly focus your attention on each part of the body, only long enough to assess its feels. Do I feel tension somewhere? How energetic do I feel? Are my emotions weighing me down? You just observe what's going on without judging or trying to find a specific answer to what we feel. So, okay, that are the 2 sensory-oriented mindfulness meditation exercise. Let's move on to the next type. The second type of meditation focuses on breathing. Breathing, of course, is essential, and the way we breathe can have a major impact on our nervous system and therefore on our well-being. It's wired into our nervous system. For example, if we breathe only with the upper portion of our lungs and don't let the air penetrate all the way down into our lungs to reach a maximum number of pulmonary cells, we tend to become more agitated, as if the lungs were directly connected to our nervous system. Belly breathing has a calming effect on the brain, and there are several ways to learn how to do it effectively, as you will experience in the next video. So let's wrap up the second type of meditation. The third one is called positive visualization. During this type of meditation, you perform a visualization exercise to help focus your thoughts on something important to you. For example, you can visualize yourself giving an exposé oral. You're calm, confident, the words are flowing naturally. You can also, if like me right now, you're not able to spend as much time as you'd like outside, visualize yourself on a nice beach or sitting on the foot of a beautiful tree. Since we know from our past experiences how these things feel, visualizing them will activate the portion of our brain that will reproduce the beneficial effects of being in contact with nature, but in our bodies. Isn't that magical? When uh, when I was on the basketball team in high school, a doctorate student from Bishop's University who was studying the effect of this technique used to come over and have us to do positive visualization exercise before our practices and games. He would have us visualize ourselves putting on our jersey, walking onto the court, dribbling the ball, passing it over to our teammates. He would have us imagine the sounds, the color that would surround us. He would even have us visualize and hear the sound of the ball going into the net, like swoosh. All of this aimed at anchoring into our being the attitude and the moves that we needed to make on the court. The effects of this exercise were quite interesting. Okay, now for the fourth meditation technique, contemplation. If you don't feel like sitting down, closing your eyes, and concentrating on your breathing, why don't you just step outside, go sit somewhere, and contemplate something that makes you feel good or that you find beautiful? We don't start thinking, we just look. Look at the leaves fluttering in the wind, a child who plays in the park, the clouds and the sun shifting as time goes by. Just contemplate our surroundings and observe if our mind tries to take the micro instead of just contemplating. Now for the fifth technique, which is probably not as well known and it's often associated with more religion. It's called mantra meditation, a simple string of words or a sentence that brings us back into the present moment and that help us to focus on positive things and feel good. It can be something as simple as I'm completely at peace, or I'm calm, I have confidence in myself, or I'm loved. It must be something positive that will help to bring about what I'm trying to put into place, a heartfelt word or a sentence. I just repeat these words to myself several times to help bring yourself back to the present moment. You could tell yourself something like, I'm here now in the present moment, just there. Just make sure though that the words you choose are meaningful to you. If they're not, what's the point? Huh? Now the sixth and last meditation technique is called active meditation or self-awareness in action. One of my work friends, Evelyn, once told me, oh, come on, please don't try to have me sit still. I just can't do that. Meditation is not for me. That's fine. It's completely possible to turn your mind's eye inwards even if you're moving. You can, for instance, go on a walk. While doing that, you can pay attention to each step, to the way each foot unfolds and makes contact with the heart underneath you. If I'm cooking, I can pay attention to the way I'm beating the eggs, to the motion my arm is making. If I dance, etc., etc. This form of meditation is perfectly acceptable too. So that's a buffet of side techniques for everyone. So as you can see and understand by now, is that meditation is used to change the focus on our mind's eye to project it inwards. Of course, this takes a little practice training our attention muscle. Remember in one of the previous video, as I was telling you about beating down a pet using one of the integration exercises. The same goes here. Each time you practice this meditation, you trailing the small pet in your mind, making it a bit wider and more easily accessible each time. Personally, I often use the quick body scan technique to center myself before I teach a class. I even take a couple of minutes to close my eyes and look at myself. I try to make sure to leave outside of the classroom anything that doesn't belong there. And I also ask my students to do the same. At first, they're a little bit inquiring, but after a short 2 minutes of introspection with eyes closed, everybody opens their eyes again and whew, it changes the air in the class. During that time, for some reason, we seem to have established a link between each other that makes it easier to work together. So meditation equals being present to where you are. So I've prepared 3 meditation videos for you. The first one is called Connected and will serve to energize you, to anchor your solidity into yourself, and it will show ways to improve the way you breathe. The second, The Wisdom of Nature, will show you how to bring into yourself the beneficial energy present in nature with positive visualization exercises. The third and the last one, entitled Thank You, will reprise the concept of gratitude, which, if you remember what I said in the previous capsule, has the power to amplify positive emotion. So I hope this will interest you. If not, it's okay. There are other paths to walk. Have a great day and hope to see you soon.